And good morning, Fiberifians. Welcome to another live craft and chat. We've had to set it up a little different today. I'm just making sure the chat's up. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I've had to do some jiggery pokery. Let's go with jiggery pokery to get it set up and going this morning. Good morning. We've got lots of new names in the chat today. So I want to say good morning to Ida and Naughty Little Skane and Deb Sky. So good morning to everybody who has made it to the live chat today. Diz is loving the rainbow. Well, thanks, Diz. And Tina Atkins, welcome. Sally can see me and hear me. Excellent. I've just bumped the table with my leg. Hang on a second. I don't want that to be happening all morning because I'm swiveling like, woo, fun. Okay, so housekeeping first. There's lots of new names here in the live chat. Those people that you see that their names highlighted with the spanner. So mods, if you can just jump in and say hi. These are our moderators. These are to make sure no one's naughty, nobody tries to do anything or say anything rude or swear at me. Not that any of you normally do it. It's more just to remind us that, that we can't post links and things like that, but the mods can. So if I talk about something, the mods are very good. We've got Spanner Chick, aka Kim. We've got Sally. We've got a couple of others who are not in today. And so what will happen is if I say, hey, go and check out the Fiberific Mystery Lace Club over on my website, one of the mods will very, very quickly will very quickly throw a link up because you guys can't share links, but they can. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing. That's what the gist is. No trolls. Definitely trying for no trolls, Tina. Definitely trying for no trolls, but we can never guarantee life. Which is why today we only have this camera. There's no top-down camera. So the camera that we're using actually is my usual top-down camera. For those of you that are new here, you may not know that I've just been away for a week. So we missed a live stream last week because I was in Melbourne at VidCon, which is an absolutely amazing event for video creators. And I'll go into more of that later. But I was away, and so all my gear was popped away. And when I came home and was setting up this morning, which I probably should have checked sooner, but I didn't because I just thought everything was where I left it. Camera's not where I left it. So I normally have another camera. And this afternoon, I'm basically going to pull my house apart, hunting for it because it's one of my DSLRs. So it's not a little camera that I've lost. It's a big camera. So that's weird, right? It's weird that you can lose a DSLR in your house. Anyway. Sally says that Spanner Chick's much quicker than her. Yeah. Ida says, oh, darn, I can't be naughty. Well, Ida, you can be naughty. It's just the varying levels of naughtiness that are and are not allowed. Spanner says, I feel your focus is slightly off today, like it's focusing on the background instead of you. Ah, thank you for that. It probably is. Let me see if I don't know if I can do anything about that while we are streaming. I didn't actually run any testing, so the big new camera, no. So there's the new camera I've got. The new camera I've got here, it's fine. It is, it's the other camera that I was utilizing. I'm just going to have a quick look here. Look, you know what? I'm not going to mess around with it. Yeah, the focus is off a smidge, but it's giving me that, Days of Our Lives dreamy look, and I'm totally fine with that. Spanish Chick's telling Ida that the mods are the naughtiest of the lot. That's the truth, Ida. I've made the mods to try and get them to mend their evil ways. It's not working. I got my Fiberific mug, you guys. In my mug, I have some of the delicious T2 licorice legs tea so that I can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Although the T2 may not, so the licorice legs may not be able to get me through today because I've been talking for 6 days straight is what's been going on. So, let me think. We've been away from each other for so long. I'm like, what haven't I told you? What have I told you? What did I share on Instagram? And then I realized, you know what? I didn't actually share that much on Instagram while I was away. It was one of those situations. It's been a really bizarre, just surreal week where you know, when you go to an event, you've got this, like, you know, like little mini agenda. Now I try to keep those things quite small because I don't want to leave disappointed. And so I've had this sort of like, I want to do this, I want to go into this panel because I've got an idea of what panels and fireside chats and things like that I'll go into. And then I get there, and a friend of mine ended up being stuck without accommodation, and so I ended up sharing my room, which is something I don't normally do. Kim says, you told us nothing. Well, I didn't really know how to do it without skiting, without being all like, oh my God, guess where I am? Look what I'm doing. Look who I'm talking to. It felt very weird, and I'm still trying to work out ways to talk about it that doesn't seem so like, I'm, you know, I hate that. I hate that so much, and I don't want to be that person. But anyway, I had an industry pass. So VidCon, you can buy 3 different kinds of passes. There's the community pass, which is sort of just for fans to go and meet or watch panels with their favorite creators. There's a creator pass, which is where the creators, where sort of smaller scale creators and non-featured creators have access to these rooms where we can all talk to each other. We've got very specific content for creating better videos. And then we've got Industry Pass, which gives you an extra couple of days of sort of the more media industry types of discussions and talks. So I had an Industry Pass this year. I wanted to, you know, try and get a bit more deep dive on some of the YouTube stuff. Anyway, so I had this Industry Pass, which meant that I got into some meet and greets, which normally a Creator Pass doesn't allow. So I was able to do, like, join the big long lines and jump in, and I met the Try Guys. So if you guys don't know who they are, go and check them out. I also met Georgia Productions, which is very much sort of teen focused, but my daughter loves her, so it was like a bit of a troll at my daughter to go and see that one. I also was able to, I got in for Aussie Man Reviews, which I missed, which made me really sad because he makes me laugh a lot. He's very rude, swears a lot. Not every one of his videos I like, but I like a lot of them. And then I also got to meet Hank Green, which was a dream for me, because those of you that know me know that watching the Vlogbrothers, Hank Green, Rhett and Link, those sorts of guys made me realize that I'm not too old to be on the internet, that if I've got something to share and something to talk about that I'm passionate about, then it doesn't matter my age. And I very much in a world, a video world where majority of the creators are in their 20s and you're over 40, you kind of look around the room going, oh, they're all babies. And then every now and again you'll spot a face, like, with, you know, that's had some life. And so yeah, it was very, very surreal. But my roommate that I had is also has been a feature creator in the past. He's very talented, and he was able to get me a special pass that got me into some other areas, and I basically was totally overwhelmed the entire trip. And I got to meet and talk with people that I just would never have had access to. And I met some fantastic people and chatted with some amazing people. Some YouTubers as well. Like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't all YouTubers. Some of them were sort of more business level sort of people, executive staff for VidCon, things like that. And I was just very overwhelmed a lot of the time. Yeah. Abby would have been green. Abby was totally green, for sure. And Spanichick says, were you totes fangirling? Oh, I tried so hard not to fangirl. I really did. I don't know if I succeeded. I honestly don't think I did succeed. But when you realise you're sitting down at a table talking about Australian tax law with Hank Green, you just like not just Hank Green, but, you know, it was like a table of like 6 of us, but one of those people, and you just like, you look up and you just sort of sit back for a second and realise what's going on. Your heart just goes like crazy, and it's like, okay, calm down. You know tax law. You're good. You're right. So yeah, it was a bit crazy. I had a fantastic time, guys. I've learnt so much. I've come back with so many fantastic ideas. Now just to try and implement them with the time that I have spare. Do I have spare time? I don't know if I have spare time. Anyway, that's enough about VidCon. You guys do not want to hear me prattle on about VidCon for an hour and a half. So I had actually set everything up here like normal. So everything's ready for the second camera if I ever find it. So I actually have my knitting here because I was going to be doing my dad's hat while we were chatting. And now I can't, well, I can. I mean, I feel weird knitting like out of shot. Does that make sense? Like, it feels like I'm not really paying attention if I'm like doo, 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 doo. Whereas when I've got the other, it doesn't matter if I'm looking down because you guys can see what I'm working on. Spanner says, we love to hear you being passionate and excited. I am very blown away. I am very tired though. I came home, like, I was a good girl. Honestly, you guys, I did not drink much. Couple of nights were a bit short on the sleep, but the last couple of nights I had full night sleeps, no problems. I still came home shattered. Like, on Tuesday, I had all these plans, right, to do this stuff. And then something else happened which meant those plans couldn't happen. And I was just like, that's fine. I'm just going to sit here and just do this all day. And I did, pretty much. I sat in a chair. I watched stupid movies. I watched, what did I even watch? I think my husband was shocked. He came home and there were rom-coms on, like The Wedding Date, and what else did I watch? I watched something else. I can't remember. That's how much I was taking it in. And he was like, are you okay? Because, like, me and rom-coms, we don't really go together. But yeah, it was fun. Blame Di she's not here to defend herself. Totally. And why isn't she even here? Like, I need to find that out. Anyway, so, for those of you that don't know, Spanner Chick is Kim. She needed to change her handle, and so we've modded up her new YouTube account. So it's still Kim. So, you know, don't panic. Kim is still here. We haven't sacked her yet. Let me just get comfy in this chair. I'm really not that comfy. Okay. Now, let me think. I'm trying to remember all the things, you guys. Remembering all the things. We've still got some of these Earth palette kits left. The Shane's Earth palette. So, which, I don't know how well you can see that there. Which is the pretty greens. That's a bit blown out. It's not quite that pale. It's just a bit light. And then I've got the next colours here, the double shot coffee, and then just the coffee. So we've still got some of those kits available. That was a problem. So those of you that may have noticed the website was being a butt face. Sort of what part of while I was away and just before I left. So we had some problems here. Our internet went down last Tuesday. So we don't know what happened. Telstra took forever to fix it. It wasn't back up until Friday, I think. Maybe Thursday. Anyway, it took for ages to get back. So Tim and Abby are stuck here by themselves with no internet. Luckily, we didn't have to do a live stream. We may not have been able to run one because there was literally no internet. And then, so the internet was down. So what I didn't notice was that my website was also playing up, because I just assumed that me not getting as many notifications of things was just because I was only sort of, you know, syncing up the data occasionally rather than having it slowly filter through. So it turns out that on the back end of the website there was an update that was forced through. I didn't put it through, it went through, and it crashed and burned everything. So you could still use the website, I'm going to use that word lightly, if you're on a desktop or a laptop, but not on a mobile device. You just couldn't, unless it was on the front screen and you could click it, you couldn't access menus, you couldn't access search, you couldn't log into your, anyway, it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. So Jacob, those of you that know who Jacob is, he jumped on board for me and got onto some web developers for us, and they went in and fixed it all up, wrote a patch, sorted it all out. But yeah, absolute drama. So I'm at VidCon trying to be all like learny and write things down. Meanwhile, in my brain's like, the website's not working. You must learn all the things because this is a very expensive trip to do while your website is down. So it was a bit scary to say the absolute least. But it came back up. So if you've been waiting to try and get something, and when you were trying to access the website it wasn't working. It should be all good now. I haven't done like a deep dive check. I just had a cursory glance that I could, you know, access things from my phone, and it seems to be working. So yeah, yeah, she threw me through Steph. Hang on a second. I missed something there. Alison said I got back from Japan on Monday after 2 weeks and was so tired, only just getting back to normal. It's a bit like that, Alison, isn't it? I mean, you went to a totally different country. I mean, I just went to Melbourne, but yeah, totally weird. Spanner says that would have been fun to deal with while you're interstate, and then your phone was ding, 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 ding. It did go a little haywire. Nothing too dramatic, but just enough for me to notice that things were working again. So I was like, so yeah, if you've been trying to order something, so say either one of the Earth Palette kits for the, Kim changing her name through you. Sorry, Sally. So either one of the Rain Brush kits in Earth Palette or in my Brat Rainbow. I'm taking it as a personal affront that everyone's buying the colours my dad picked and no one's buying the colours I picked. I'm personally offended. I'm not. But I'm surprised. So, but yeah, so it's coming out really nice. Andrea is having her first go at brioche, and she's making one of these well, and she's doing her. We realised we're doing our colours in different orders, so it'll be really interesting to see how they come up with the same kit but playing with the colour order. So that'll be really fun. And then we've also still got some of the last live dye colours are still available over on the website as well, in a box that I forgot to bring closer because I was going to show you what was in it, but it's over there. We've had a delivery from Nancy's Knickknacks has arrived, and so that's here. We've got some extra cases. Excuse me. I've been informed that Nancy's Knickknacks is changing hands, so that will be interesting to see how that goes. Oops, I think I'm about to accidentally report someone's comment. Let's not do that. So yeah, so Nancy's Knickknacks is changing hands. Show us, show us, show us. What am I showing you? Oh, the box. But it's... all right, hang on. I'll have a sip of my tea. And I'll clear some space. The box isn't huge. It's the inner box of the order. There's other things as well, so, but I won't worry about those for now. All right, hang on. I'm going to get the box. I have to take my microphone off. Remind me to put it back on. Okay. What's in the box? What's in the box? Yep. I'm with you, Dizzy. Oh, oops, hang on. Microphone's on upside down. Let's fix that. Bam. Alright. You can see me over the box. Hello. Okay. Let's have a squiz here. We have some packaging. Just throw over there. Bam. That's a nice bit of cardboard. Abby might like that. Okay, in the box, I don't recall ordering quite so many of those, but okay, I'll check the invoice later. We've got some of the DP whip tubes. Do you guys know what DP whip tubes are? Hey, Cinders, you caught alive. Live dye yarns. Thank you, Sally, for popping the link up. You better clean that up before Tummy comes. No, I'll just leave it there for her. I'm very in the shadows here. Hang on, I kicked a light as I came past. Let's just fix that. Make me. There we go. Hello. Okay. Oh, the other thing is it's really stuffy in here, so I've got the aircon on. So I'm sorry if it's really loud. Yeah, but I can't bear without it today. All right. So DP whip tubes. They come with 3 things in the packet. Right, you get 2 of the red ones and 1 of the blue ones. There's a blue one and there's a red one. So the blue one is a storage tube. These are cardboard tubes, and they're for storing your double-pointed needles into, so that you don't have them dig through your bag. And this particular little whoosie what's it is to actually put your double-pointeds that are on a project in there, and you dangle. Hang on, there you go. And you can dangle your project out the bottom. So if you're knitting a sock, you can push it until the end's closed, but your sock's hanging out so you don't lose any stitches off. It's just a really nifty little thing. They're just laminated cardboard. They're like, I don't know, $5 or $6 or something. They're not dear. And you get the 3 in the pack. That's the pack for $6. Dude says it's okay if you kick a light but don't kick the bucket. Good point. Good point. Yeah, so these are really nifty if you're a sock knitter or you use double pointeds for different things. And it's really hard when you've got to put it in your hand, like put it in your project bag or something, and you're worried about your stitches falling off the end. So it's just a really nifty little sort of pack for that. So I've got a few of those that have come in. Bam, ba bam, ba bam. There's a few more. I just saw something in the box, but we'll get to that in a minute. Then we've got some just of the packs of the whip tubes. So this is just the blue tube for storing your double pointeds. So if you don't have the ChowGoo double pointed case, this is another option. And because it's just laminated cardboard, again, $5 or $6. You get 4 tubes. It's not per tube, it's for the pack. And yeah, there's lots in there. And it just, again, just for storing your things so they don't go everywhere. There's a few more of those. I'll just put these aside for now. Somewhere. There we go. Oink. We need the space. I'm just making some space. Alrighty. And then next in here, I'm surprised only one. Again, I thought I ordered a different number. But in this little baggie, okay, that's weird. That's not the normal packaging. Alright, so in this little baggie there is a wraps per inch tool. Hang on, I've got to get over the box here. And there's a card that gives you sort of some information about how many wraps per inch denotes what kinds of yarn. And then this guy has some fantastic little measurements for you to roll it and wrap the yarn. Not too tight, otherwise it skews everything. But that's a nifty little thing. Something new has come in this box. I'm going to have to take photos before I get it up on the website, which is terrible. So we got some more Notions cases, you guys. So we've got some blue ones. So have you all seen Notions cases? It appears that I got no yellow this time. I'm just having a, you know, double check I'm not a total liar. There we go, throwing that over there. No, there's no yellow, unfortunately, but what there is purple. I don't know if you guys could see that colour, but that's such a pretty purple. So next to the blue, no, the colours aren't showing properly. That'd be right. The day I want colours showing, it's the day we don't get colours showing. But it's a nice purple. But the purple is back. And there's a few in here. Let me have a look. We've got, actually, we have quite a lot of purple, which is shocking. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I've got 10 out of 40 are purple. So I'm like, whoop, whoop. So they're back. We have purple Notions cases back. I'll hold one out and I'll show you what the Notions cases are. The rest of this box is just Notions cases with different colours. Okay, so our purple Notions case. Nancy's Knickknacks Notions cases. Alright, inside is little compartments. And then they all open up and I'll get that in a second. They shouldn't do that. They open up and then reseal. I actually put beads and stuff in this side so that I can travel with my knitting projects. I don't know why that flipped off. I think because I flinged it. Maybe they discontinued the yellow. Sometimes, like, because they had a problem with the purple for a while as well, where they hadn't actually discontinued the colour, but the factory couldn't make them a batch of purple for whatever reason. So there might be a similar thing with the yellow at the moment, which is a shame because I really like the yellow. It really grew on me. Spanner says, I have my darning needles in the big size. I use mostly chibis for my darning, so the chibi cases don't fit, which is a shame. So yeah, because I like either the big little, what are they called, jumbo? No, maybe not the jumbo chibis. There's a few different sizes in the chibis, and I like the bent tip ones and then also the largish ones, not the crowbars, but the next size down from a crowbar. So, anyway, just trying to work out if I can. Oh, you took yours out of your chibi tube. Dizzy says I won one of those ages ago. I love it for stitch markers. Yeah, I think they're great. I think they're fantastic. I'm just trying to work out, you guys, if I lean back a little, I create a bit more shadow behind me, which I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of the shadow, but it also means that you guys can see my knitting a bit easier. Does that help? My phone's on my yarn. I think I used the chibi tube for leftover beads. Oh, okay, that's clever. The chibi tubes are great. I don't have one handy to show anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about. Clover have these needles for weaving in ends and for seaming in different sizes and different sort of lengths, and also some are bent tips, some are straight. And I find the bent tip ones are perfect for mattress stitching and sewing crochet together. I actually prefer the bent tips for most things, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And they come in these little sort of bullet-shaped tubes with a screw-top lid, and it makes it definitely a lot easier to not lose your needles because it's a bit bigger. Chibis are excellent. Mods are throwing in links to the chibis. Good job, guys. Where are we? Yep, right click. All right, I'm just having a look at my knitting here to work out where I'm up to. So, because we're doing brioche. This is not a free pattern. This is the rain brioche hat pattern. So it's this hat, but you know, new colors. It's not a free pattern, so I'm not going to be giving you the instructions in how to work it, but because that's not right. I'm just trying to. So slip that. Hang on a second, what have I done? I've done something. Alright, there we go. No, that's alright. So slip that one and then purl this one. I got it. I worked out where I'm at. It's all good. It's all good. Spanner says they're good for threading blinglets. Yes, they are. They absolutely are. So for literal years, when I'm packing my blinglets, hang on, I'll just put this down because I've got to talk with my hands. I get like the little strand of thread that I use to tie all the blinglets into the packaging. I pick it up and then I feed them on 1, 2, 3, and it takes a bit of time. It's nothing too dramatic. It was just, you've got to feed them on and sort of let them through and then catch them without like them falling off the other end of the thread, right? So think like straining beads, but 1, 2, so you've got to get 11 on. Well, when, because I've been really like, for those of you that don't know, my asthma's been playing up. I can't wear the breather mask to make blinglets. So just before Bendigo, Kim, or Spanner Chick, as she is now known, she put a hand up and very kindly glued literally thousands of blinglets, thousands and thousands. So I've got all these little bags back of blinglets that are all glued up. So I did all the wiring and then Kim did all the gluing. And then I have to package them. And it was just before Redlands Open Day, I think. So just before Redlands Open Day, Kim had brought me back tons, and I'm just double checking it's not me. Sorry, I just saw that Sally said her computer froze, and I was double checking it wasn't our stream. And so I had I was a bit overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my god, there's so many blinglets to package up by tomorrow, and so I'm like madly like packaging up these blinglets. And I think I got something like 20 or so packs done in like 2 hours. And I was just like, and like looking at this pile of not done ones, thinking, oh my god, I'm never getting these done. And I'm like, there has to be an easier way. And for those of you that don't know, speed packing. Yeah, those of you that don't know, that's normally what gets my brain like searching madly for things to work, things to happen, is that I have an over inundation of tasks to do, a very small window to do them in, and I just have to get them done. And so I'm like, what can I do? How could I speed this up? So I was like, I had some chibis here, so I grabbed a bent tip chibi, threaded it on, and went pick, and I was just like, that was really fast. Did I do it? And I'm like double checking that I've picked the right number and I've got them straightened. I'm like, Wow. I got the next 20 packs done in like under 5 minutes. Oh, no, under half an hour. So it took 2 hours for the first 20, 30 minutes for the second 20. And I was just like, and that was because I kept like going, this can't be right. And I kept double checking it. And so once I accepted the fact that this took so much quicker, I ended up having something like 100 and something packs done in 3.5, 4 hours, when the first 20 packs took 2 hours. So I was just like, okay, well, that was weird that I didn't work that out sooner. I've only been packing those things for 5 years. Um, but yeah, sometimes it's like, okay, and because the thing is, normally I'm not packing that many packs at once. Normally I glued some the other week, and there's about 10 packs to pack, so that was it. Whereas it's been my experience that when you've got to do something crazy fast. So about it would have been last March, maybe February. I was shipping over 100 mini skeins to New Zealand for the Margecraft Magic Camp, for people to put for Margecraft to put in the little bags to give all the guests at the camp. And I've dyed them all up, no problems there. Next thing you know, I've realised that because I hand twisted my yarn always, every skein was hand twisted by me. It was taking me hours to hand twist, and because the damage I've done to my arm, that action of twisting the skein I was in pain. I was actually in a fair amount of pain, and I hadn't even done 10 of the mini skeins out of the 100 that I had to, or 100, I think I did 115. And so it was just insanity, and I was in pain because each one of these little mini skeins, do I have one handy? I don't. Each little mini skein takes 15 twists, because I count everything, guys. Everything's counted. 15 twists to get it to just how I like it, so it's nice and firm without being too tight, but without being baggy, so I can't get caught. Anyway, it was insanity, and I'm walking around the house going, I'm literally walking around in circles. I felt like I was wasting time because I should have been sitting down twisting these mini skeins. And Kim's right, there's a few of the sock sets. Good job, Kim. Okay, so these little mini skeins here take 15 twists in each mini skein to get it to look like that. Thanks, Kim. These are the sock sets. And I've got quite a few spinning wheels around the place, because that's normal, right? To totally have like 8 spinning wheels. I don't now, by the way, but I did in March. And I'm looking at this one spinning wheel, and it had this little tiny cup hook to feed in with. And I was like, it's a shame that's not bigger, because spinning wheels are basically foot-powered twisting machines. That's what they do. You draft your fibre to the thickness that you want, and all a spinning wheel does is twists it and then loads it onto its bobbin. That's it. That's what spinning wheels do. And I'm like, I wish I could use my crazy twisting machine to twist these skeins. And my dad was here, and he was like, well, what do you need to make it do that? And I'm like, I need a big hook. And he was just like, oh, it's a shame you don't have a big hook anywhere, isn't it? And he was like what sort of size? And like in this backwards and forwards with my dad, I'm like, like the size of a coat hanger. So I've gone into the cupboards, and my husband's got these nice wooden hangers that he puts his suit jackets on for work, like, because he's an accountant, he's got like suits and stuff. And anyway, so I've looked at this nice, lovely wooden hanger, and I've spotted its little like beautiful hook. I was like, I wonder if that twists out. And so I literally stole his coat hanger, put his jacket onto another. I did put it onto another hanger. I didn't just like dump it on the floor. Although tempted, but I didn't. Hung it on another hanger, stole the hook, twisted out the little tiny one off the twister, off the spinning wheel. And I was like looking at them, because I didn't want to wreck the spinning wheel, right? I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, I'll just drill a bigger hole into it. Like, I wanted to preserve the wheel for a spinning wheel as well, because it's a spinning wheel. Anyway, so I had a look, and they were so close. I think I think the other one's just a dash bigger, but I've already worked out how to put the other one back in. And I've just twisted it in a little bit just to see if it was going to do any damage. And it just twisted in perfectly. And I was like, okay, all right, let's see what happens. So I've grabbed a mini skein, I've gotten it ready, and I've flipped it over the hook, and I've treadled it. And I was just like, oh my God, this totally works. And I don't have to be like imagine opening bottles of wine just over and over again with a corkscrew. That's how it feels to twist skeins of yarn. Plus then you've got to hook them over something to twist them back on themselves. But anyway, I've spoken an awfully long time about that. So sorry if that was boring for you all. So do you guys have any questions for me? There's lots of you in the chat here. I've just realized I've got top chat. If you've got top chat, just click on it and hit live chat. You could be missing questions that I may answer if I see them. So yeah, Sally says she hates twisting skeins. I don't blame you, Sally. It's my least favorite job. I'd rather do my taxes than twist skeins. Gum Blossom Yarn. Okay. Thank you for the reminder. So we had a live dye stream planned for today, and unfortunately, Gum Blossom Yarns is sick, and she's been sick for a little while. She had the flu. She's still not over it. It's going to take her a little while. So we haven't cancelled it. We've just postponed it. So at this stage, it's going to be towards the end of October. We're going to wait and see how she is before we start sort of blatting out. Stop kicking. I touched it with my hand, Kim. So bossy. I'm such a 12-year-old. I totally fit in a big con because I'm so 12. But I'll keep my hands off the table. Look, they're here. I shall just hold them. Nope, I won't do that. Cover the microphone. I'll do this. There we go. Not touching the table at all, Kim. Is that better? Is that better? So yeah. So the live dye we've had to put off. And I was really looking forward to it, but there's just when you're sick, you're sick. It's that simple. There's no ifs, no buts, no coconuts. You're sick. So we'll see how she goes in a few weeks. See if she's back up on deck. If not, we'll just postpone it again. It's not cancelled. We're both really excited to do it, but we do want her to be well. We don't want her to end up crooker. Crooker? Is that a word? Even sicker than what she already is. So, because being sick is horrible. So yeah, so I might pick up my knitting and work on my knitting while we chat. So I've got things down here. So you guys, what questions do you have for me today? Oops, purling. Don't forget that not all the stitches are knitted stitches, Chantal. We need to get it done before it gets too hot though. Yeah, I agree with you there, Kim. But I'm willing to dye on a hot day to have our friend Simone play with us. Does that make sense? Also, one of the reasons why we couldn't do, oops, I did that wrong. One of the reasons why we couldn't do live dyes in the summer is because of, I don't know if it's still going to be an issue, is that the laptop that we were using for our live streams couldn't cope, and it would thermal and overheat. Now, I still think, I've got a new laptop, and I still think this may be a problem, but it's got a lot more cooling vents. It's got a lot more fans. It's a lot better. It's designed to do this job. My other laptop was not designed to live stream, and yet we made it do it for years. So now that we've got the new laptop, it can process things better and it can keep itself cooler. So we'll see. I can't promise, but it'll definitely be worth a trial, because it just might mean that we don't. There'll be some time where we don't do any dye streaming. So where are we at? I realized last night. It is 90 days until Christmas, you guys. And so that's crazy. And I shut down basically for January. So there'll be no live dye streams during January. There may be a live stream, just a normal, one. Did you manage to check the settings on the DSLR for the auto shut off? No, not yet. I did not. Can't do it even because I don't know where it is now. It's gone. It's moved out. It didn't like living at my house. I'm taking it very personally. Let me have a look here. So yeah, our normal January shutdown will happen, but I try to keep things flowing a little bit. You guys know I don't really go away anywhere. I just need a break. Where are we? So, did you guys, have all the Mystery Lace Clubbers received their yarns yet? Because I've got the yarns here and I'd love to show them because I want some feedback on something, but I also don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't received it yet. So if you're a Mystery Lace Club member in the chat, if you could let me know. Oh, but nice says 90 days. Is that all? Oh my God, I'm not ready. You and me both, honey. You and me both. I wrote actually in the description of today's video, are you a planner and you're all good to go, or are you like me, which is like, I'm not even going to start my Christmas craft for another month and then I'll freak out because nothing's done in time and give people parts of presents, which is what I do. Spanner says, Wench and I can hijack your stream for January. You totally can. I probably wouldn't even notice because I'll be sleeping because I like to have snooze-a-loozles. That's what I do in my holidays. I sleep in a lot. Love sleeping in. My favorite. Black Pearl Knits has received her MLC. Awesome. Sally says, so it's only 87 days till her birthday. Really, Sally? That's good to know. I'll hold my hands up a little bit more. I'm just trying to work out if I can just drop I'm going to try and move this camera just down, just a dash. So I don't have to hold my hands like this. All right, you guys ready? Just going to, just a smidge. There we go. That's better, isn't it? That's better for me. Still got to hold my hands up, but it's not like this anymore. Purling. Got to remember to purl. Chantel, purl the stitches. You're on a purl round. All right, so do you guys want to see what went out for the Mystery Lace Club this month? Matty likes to get up early so he can have extra YouTube time while he's on holidays. Yeah, but they never want to get up early, like on a school day, to make life easier for you to get them out the door, though, right? Because Abby's like that. Abby will get up early some days and then sleep until noon others, and you just never know what's going to happen. MLC, always. All right, hang on. Let me put this down. So I happen to have them. You probably spied them behind me already. This month we had this beautiful selection of yarns go out. We called it Blue Cotton Candy, and we have a mohair, so a Leo 2 in mohair, and then we also have a new base that I got in especially for Mystery Lace Club, which is 75% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon, and 20% silver stellina. Can you see the sparkles? The blue's not showing up properly, so, you know, bear with the blue, but can you see it sparkling? Kim says she's getting a lot of buffering. I'm not getting any buffering on my phone, Kim. So I think it might be you for a change. It's normally me. So this was the Mystery Lace Club that went out, and then also a pattern, a gorgeous pattern called Fluff and Sparkle, which I was just in love with. And so we've got these two yarns that went out, and I'm so in love. Like, this is Leo 2, guys. Leo 2 came in for Mystery Lace Club and stayed. And that happens sometimes. Sometimes the yarns come in and I just use them for Mystery Lace Club. Sometimes I end up keeping it. And then this one here, which is a 4-ply, so it's 400 meters for 100 grams, but silver sparkles, I mean, and they're not coarse. Does that make sense? So, yeah, it's bizarre, but I'm like, I really like this. Now, the catch is, for those of you that dye, I know there's some dyes in our group here. I normally use citric acid as my acid dye base for all my dyeing. But when you're using stellina or sparkles, you can't use citric acid. It dulls your sparkle, which kind of defeats the purpose. You're paying all this extra for sparkles, and then you dull it with your dye technique. So you actually have to use vinegar. So it's like, I don't know, I can smell it a little bit. Andrea said she couldn't smell it. So if any of you have got your Mystery Lace Club, let me know if you can smell it. Because I've rinsed them so many times just to make sure that, because I don't like the smell of vinegar in my yarn. But I had to use the less strong acid base to get it. It still makes the color set, but I prefer citric acid, you guys. So it was a different technique, but I'm still, even though there's a different technique, I'm still contemplating getting some more of this for other colors. What do you think? Do you reckon we should try and bring in, like, even just a limited line of sparkles, just to see how everybody let's just to see how everybody feels about sparkles. What do you think? Should it be something I order again in my next yarn order from these guys to grab some more sparkles? Sally says she uses vinegar when dyeing. I used to use vinegar all the time, and then I worked out that citric acid was a lot more cost effective, like a lot more cost effective. Savannah says, I've had a few with the metallic strand, and the metallic does make the yarn rougher, but this one wasn't too bad because the strand is thinner. Yeah, the sparkle strand is quite fine, really. Like, you can't see it, but I'm holding it. There's a sparkle strand. No, you're just never going to see it. There we go. Just let that fly away. Go away. So yeah, so we've got that sparkle. Yes to all the sparkle from Talia. Someone asked if there was anything else that you needed in the pattern. Just knitting needles. It's just a 400 meter skein of fluffy, a 400 meter skein of sparkle. So like it's 4-ply sparkle. And then I think the Leo 2 is technically classed as lace weight. I class it as thicker. But yeah, so that's all you need, a skein of each. Bub says yes. Bub, can you smell the vinegar in yours? Because Bub's in the Mystery Lace Club as well. Knit Spin Girl Creation says all the sparkles all the time. See, I'm with you. I love sparkles. I think sparkles are great. But then, does everybody else think sparkles? Do you know what I mean? Like, I have to walk this line. I'm like, just because I like it doesn't mean everybody else will. Does that make sense, right? Oh my gosh. Let me just have some more tea. You see, I get my vinegar free, and the dyes I use are acid-based, so I don't use a lot. Okay. Well, see, even with, I only use like a couple of tablespoons of vinegar in a batch. It's not like you're using heaps, but the citric acid just worked out heaps better for me, especially speckling. If you want good, tight speckles, lots of citric acid. Bub says no vinegar smell. Yes for no vinegar smell. I washed all these yarns a lot to make sure that there was no vinegar smell, because I'm like, this isn't a chippo. We don't need no vinegar smells in the chippo. I'm just gonna reach over and get the pattern because I've printed out a copy here. I can show you. Beep 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 whip. Okay, so it's from Emily O'Brien, who is Kitty with a cupcake. She's fantastic. So that's the pattern. So you utilize your 4-ply for the lace, and then the fluff bit is the filler in the middle, which is fantastic. And she's got some really amazing patterns. She's got some listed on the back here. They're just so beautiful, and her patterns are really well written, and they're like nice and clear. I'm not gonna like let you zoom in too much because it's not a free pattern. And they also come with nice big clear charts. So just beautiful, beautiful. Spanner Chick says all the girls at Caffeinated Crafters really liked it. I really missed Caffeinated Crafters this week, you guys. That week. So because I was away, down in Melbourne is where I was. I had to think about that for a second. I couldn't be here for Caffeinated Crafters this week, and it felt really weird because it's a new location, and I feel like I should be there. And I was actually part of the decision making whether I should go to Melbourne was Caffeinated Crafters. And I'm really glad that it still went ahead, and it sounded like it was a really good night, which was fantastic. We tried to make you feel like you were there. Oh, and Sally misses it every week. I'm sorry. Yeah, you guys were spamming me with photos and messages, but unfortunately on Thursday night I was in what was I doing? I was in some reception thing, and it was great. Don't get me wrong. Sorry, I made that sound really lame. It wasn't lame at all. It was fantastic. But I was feeling really overwhelmed as it was. And then I'm getting all these messages, and I'm like, oh yeah, so I sort of crept back and was like having a flick through. So it was good. So thank you for spamming me with those messages. It's not really spamming when I want it, right? So yeah, so it's one of those things where I realise I need to lift my arms up a bit. Sorry guys, I forget because I'm so used to having the other camera where I do this, and I'm just like this, and now I'm like leaning back. But Nice says I need to learn to knit better. I think it's important for us all to try all the things. We'll always have things that we are better at than other things, but And because for many years, many years, I was crochet only. I only crocheted, and I would see all these gorgeous patterns, and I would get grumpy that was knit. Ah, of course, it's knitted, and it would tick me off. And then I got to this point where I was like, you know who's stopping me from making those beautiful knitted patterns that I really like? Me. I'm stopping me. We have the internet. We have YouTube. We can sit down and just watch something over and over again in the privacy of our own home. We don't have to sit there bugging somebody, be like, can you show me that again, please? I'm so sorry. Can you show? And that's the thing. Like back when I was first learning how to do stuff, back in my day, before there was YouTube, because YouTube's only been around since like 2005, 2006. So back in the day, you did have to harass somebody or try and learn it from a book, or go into a craft store and be like, hi again. Whereas now you can sit at home with your iPad or your... I personally actually prefer to shove it on the TV because it's bigger. And just watch something over and over again till you get it. And you're like, right, okay, pause. And like, for those of you that don't know, if you want to pause a video, hit your space bar. That's all you need to do. And then to unpause it, hit your space bar again. So it's not like you've got to use the mouse and click on the thing, just hit your space bar. And then you can just be like, right, and then you can tweak it back. Your little like half thing that goes that way is to drop it back a bit. And you can just go over it over and over and over again without someone in your ear going, oh, you're never going to get it. There's no point learning it unless that's your own negative voice, which that's a whole nother thing. Lisa Lenton says she's teaching herself to knit. That's awesome, Lisa. Spanner Chick learnt to crochet because I figure if my mother-in-law can do it, it can't be that hard. Sally says, yep, self-taught knitter and crocheter from YouTube, and a lefty at that. Plus, if one person doesn't click for you, you can find another video. Absolutely, that's the thing. There are literally hundreds of videos on every single topic. If someone's voice grates on you, if you can't see what they're doing, if they're working like in a way that doesn't work for you, keep searching. If they're going too fast or too slow, you can actually click an option where the spanner is, and not spanner, where the cog is. You can click that and you can change the speed. You can make it go half as fast or 1.25 times the speed. If they're going too slowly, you can speed them up a little. And you can do that yourself. And so I quite often get these messages like, oh, you went too fast. And it's just like, really? Because you can fix that yourself, honey. You can literally slow down a video and have it play at half speed. So it's like, then you insert the needle, you know. And like, yeah, the audio goes slow too. But you can see what's going on. You can slow them right down and have a good look at what their hands are doing. So there's so many amazing things about learning how to do stuff on YouTube. Whoops, hang on a second. I screwed that up. I just got to go back. There we go. I forgot to do the yarn over bitty to go with my brioche thingy. Them technical terms, right? The bitty and the thingies. Spanish Chick says, I often watch live replays on ×2 speeds. Exactly right, because we blather on, for sure. But that's the thing. So you can sit down, you can find, like I know for myself, when I'm trying to learn how to do something, I will try and watch everybody. I'll try and watch how everybody teaches, because I'm a true believer that being able to describe the same thing in multiple different ways makes me a better teacher. And so when I'm learning something, I try to learn all the different ways, or as many different ways as I can in whatever time frame. I also, you are the cutest chipmunk. Oh my gosh. Thanks for that. Why do you watch the replays, Kim? You're here for the live. Anyway, sorry. Are they little chipmunks that you've put up there? Oh, they are. Well done. Okay. So yeah, so when you get to that bit where I talked really slowly, that'll actually sound normal speed in a replay, probably. I'll lift my hands up, sorry guys. But yeah, so there's so many different ways that you can learn on YouTube. I mean, there's also Blueprint if you want like the more higher quality video, and the ability to be able to ask instructors and things like that. Blueprint. I love Blueprint. I'm a massive fan. Actually, if you are interested, I have an affiliate link for Blueprint over on my website somewhere on the affiliates page. But I personally have been using Blueprint since it started, like when Craftsy very first came out. Do you guys remember when Craftsy came out and all the classes were like ridiculously cheap? I think I have something like, I now have the Blueprint annual subscription, but I also own like 80 classes. So, Sally says that she's thankful for the people that do both the left and right-handed videos. And that's the thing, like if you're a lefty, you can just search left-handed, right-handed, and go from there. I personally have not actually gone down that track, which is something I should look into, definitely, is looking into left-handed, right-handed, because I can crochet left-handed and right-handed. I'm just trying to think. I knit continental and I knit, I can pick as well. But I don't know if I can knit left-handed. Does that make sense? So Black Pearl Knits remembers Craftsy. Well, Craftsy became Blueprint. So Craftsy's still around, just renamed. So yeah, and with a different sort of model. There's a different model behind it now. So yeah, it's just one of those things where you just keep an eye on things and you can learn, like, and you've still got the library, you've still got library books, you've still got stitch guides. I can't tell you how many stitch dictionaries I own. Love, love, love a good stitch dictionary. Is that tragic? Is that a sad thing to have so many stitch dictionaries? Sally says, I did, however, learn crochet from a right-hander and it still worked out. Oh, that's good. Because being a left-hander, you're used to having to adapt things for yourself as well, aren't you? And then I drop that one at the back and I pick this one up. And then I do that. And then this. Okay, woohoo! We got the next round happening. Dun 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 dun. Yeah. So I just feel like I've missed something today. I think it's because I'm all out of whack because I don't have my normal setup, and so there's that. But my brain's also not quite back to normal sort of speed yet because it's. I still want to be in bed. I still want to be sleeping. So if I've forgotten something that you guys wanted to talk about today, make sure you talk to me about it. So and bring it up in the chat so I can see it, and it might jog my brain. There we go. Use Craftsy for the legacy classes you have purchased in Blueprint if you have the subscription. Yeah, oh, absolutely. If you've still got you've still got them, just because they changed hands doesn't mean you've lost your classes. They're totally still there. If you can log in or reset your password or something, everything's still there. So it's all totally fine. Learning from right hand did totally confuse you. I'm not surprised, actually. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Where are we? Okay, so do you guys have any Christmas project plans? Like, do you guys gift handmaids? I don't tend to gift a lot of handmaids just because I'm really lazy, and you know, a lot of my family are not knit worthy, so they don't deserve the work and effort that goes into a handmade. But do you make things? Apparently now if you sign up to Blueprint, they give you a code every quarter so you can buy one of the classes to have for life, even if you cancel your blues. Well, I mean, I didn't know that, and I haven't been getting a code. So maybe I've got a pile of codes there and I just haven't seen them. I'll have to have a look. So am I the only one who doesn't make gifts for the Fam Bam? Sometimes I'll make something for Abby specifically, or something like this. My dad really wanted a hat, so this isn't Christmas though. His birthday was in July and this is his birthday present. But it was always going to be late because he was watching me make this one at his birthday, like the day before his birthday. And then I said, do you want me to make you one? You can pick the colours. Yeah. Ida says, I've been crocheting and knitting for about 55 years, but I still learn things on YouTube. That's awesome, Ida. Hey, Christine from Alaska. I'd put nice only gifts to a mum and dad and a sister, other family not worthy. I totally get it. Because, like, we do, like, I was reading an article where someone was bagging out the whole selfish knitters and selfish crochet. Like, I don't like the term selfish knitter, but I understand it. And they were like, oh, you should share your gifts, blah, 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 blah. But when you've watched somebody basically trash an item, like I made a shawl and gifted it, which I'm not going to say who to, but I gifted this shawl, and it was draped over a piece of cane furniture, and the shape was destroyed. This thing was, I can't remember the name of the pattern. It was one of those big bat wing shawls. It took 300 grams of luxury yarn, and it just got trashed. And I was so devastated when I saw it. I was just like, okay. No idea how long that took me to make, did you? So yeah. So now there's some people that get stuff and some people that don't. Or there's those family members that ring you going, oh hi, I just want to know if I accidentally wash those socks in a washing machine, is there a way to make it so that they're not so small now? And you're just like, no, they're done. They are now doll socks. They are now for the bin. And no, I won't be making you a new pair. I'll teach you how to make your own. So yeah. Tally says, I do, not super often and only for certain people. Knitspin Girl says, if you have Christmas in July, why no birthday in December? That's actually a very good point. I don't make things for family for gifts, me neither. Or some, they don't take care of them. Absolutely. I made my niece a Mandela cardigan for a birthday present, and she put it on and in her head said she put it on and said it's a doily. Oh. Christine says, I have 4 grandsons and I give them gift cards. Hey, I have got numerous nieces and nephews and even my daughter, and I don't know what they want. Gift cards. Then they can get what they actually want, and they remember, oh yeah, Auntie Chantel gave me this gift card and I bought that thing. I got no problems with giving gift cards. I don't like giving cash, but I don't mind gift cards. Gift cards are fine. I'm quite wary of gifting hand knits. I usually make sure it's machine washable if I do, but I don't have much machine washable yarn. See, neither do I, Black Pearl Knits. Technically speaking, Fiberific yarn is all machine washable, right? Or most of it. But it's hand dyed. And I can't guarantee that the rigors of a washing machine will not fade the dyeing. I've not had any problems with hand washing, but I'm like, if you're buying hand dyed yarn to make something special, why would you machine wash it? Now, in saying that, I will sometimes pop it into like a delicates bag and pop it in on like a hand wash cycle in my washing machine. I have no problems with that. My hand wash cycle is very gentle. But that's it. That's the closest it gets to my place. Sally says, I made my oldest niece a massive TARDIS blanket and she ended up just throwing it in the cupboard all scrunched up instead of folded and nicely put away. Oh, yeah. We have a problem here is I love making blankets, right? It's a thing. I love blankets. Hello blanket that I actually had to get help finishing because I ran out of time. So thank you, Joss. But I love making blankets. And the reason this blanket is still here hung up is the second I take it in the house, the literal second it goes on the couch or something like that, dog's going to jump on it. And she's only little and she doesn't damage it, but she covers it in dog hair. And it's so hard to get dog hair out of your knitting. Tali Spanish Chick says, I couldn't imagine hand washing a blanket. And that's why I put them into laundry bags or pillowcases and toss them through a hand wash cycle. It's the blankets mostly and shawls. Crocheted a lace table runner for my sister-in-law and later saw it on display on her special dining table and was very chuffed. See, that's the thing, Talia. Every now and again someone shocks you. And they know how special it is. They know the amount of work that went into it. And they understand it deserves a pride of place. Or it deserves care. And it deserves, being cautious with it. But not everybody does that. Sally says, I make my blankets in acrylic so I can put them in the machine. Yeah. And I mean, I don't use much acrylic, but every now and again I'll make a blanket out of acrylic. I tend to make my blankets out of Bendigo cotton. For those of you that don't know, I'm in Queensland in Australia, subtropical, and it is, I still like blankets. I still like that comfort of being under a blanket. Excuse me. So it'll be middle of summer and I'll be watching TV with a little rug on my lap. But it's cotton, so it breathes, it's open stitches, it's just a comfort thing. And so yeah, Bendigo cotton. So those of you that don't know, Bendigo make a beautiful 4-ply cotton. Thanks. Dismiss random thing that I didn't install. My laptop came with McAfee. Hate McAfee so much. I've tried uninstalling everything, but every now and again it's still popping up with something. So sorry, it just popped up going, oh, we found no viruses. I'm like, great. Got something else for that. Is it a virus in itself when they make that a program does that there's just no actual way for you to remove the whole damn thing? Ida says that she makes presents, and I'm glad, Ida. I'm glad to see somebody does, because it's important. But I'm such a whingy person that I'm like, not doing it. Sally says, I do in summer too because I tend to get cold when the aircon is on. Cambridge says, gifts, you really have to take into account if the recipient is knitworthy. I made my 5-year-old a crochet dog. It was cuddled immediately. Kay, I agree with you. When my daughter was little, I made her so much stuff. Little amigurumi toys. I made her clothes for her dolls. She loved all of it, but now she's getting a bit older. She's 14 now. She's getting a bit older. She's a bit more like, not really interested, Mom. I don't really want to thing. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but... And it's like, okay, Abs, thanks for that. Actually, she's probably watching and she's sitting here thinking, I don't sound like that. She doesn't sound like that. So, yeah. Adware. Like, install adware, or I don't know. What am I doing with adware? Because that does clear your registry, doesn't it? Is it adware that clears registry? I can't remember. My brain hurts. My brain gave up like what time is it? 11 o'clock. My brain was like, I slept in, so at 7:30. My brain's like, oh, do we really have to work today? Don't really want to. Naughty Little Skane says, I'm afraid to gift my in-laws handmade items. This is my first Christmas gifting something handmade, only because I feel they may not appreciate it. Yeah, and that's a risk. It is a risk. But if it's the first time, it's always worth the first time, because you learn something. You learn either they love it and they're knitworthy, or they make a little comment, or obviously don't love it, and they're not knitworthy. So it'll teach you for going forward what to do. Christine's asking how my Melbourne trip was. Oh my gosh, Melbourne was fantastic. I'm still a bit brain melted, overwhelmed from Melbourne, to be honest. I met amazingly talented and giving people, I don't even know how to discuss it. I was chatting with someone who I probably shouldn't have chatted. I don't know. I always feel like there's a time and a place to talk to people, and sometimes I don't always pick the best time and place. And I was having a talk to this man, and he is video is his life. I'm not going to be doing any name dropping, so don't expect that. But anyway, but he actually just sort of was like, pulled his laptop open, pulled up my channel, pulled up my website, was like, oh, hey, if you do this, and this will really help you, blah, blah, blah. It was like, what's your email address? And I've given, and next thing you know, he's just sent me this line of code to add to things to make it so that this thing happens, so to make it so that the videos on my website will play a playlist of my videos rather than skipping on to the next relevant thing in that field. And I was just like, oh my God, I didn't even know I could do that. I knew I could make playlists, but I didn't know I could change the embedded file on my website to play a playlist of my videos. Anyway, I was just blown away, and he was just so like, oh yeah, no problems, blah, 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 blah. And he was just fantastic. and we had a couple of great chats, and I was just like, oh my God. And that was a lot. There was a lot of that going on. A lot of people who were like highly skilled and highly talented, just sharing with so many people, just helping. And I think it blew me away, because I've been to VidCon a couple of times before and I've not had this experience. And I'm just like a bit like, wow, was this a once in, like, I really feel like this VidCon that I've just had was a bit of a once in a lifetime. And so I'm trying to sort of process everything and not forget anything, and remember to be supremely grateful, and just, I don't know, it's very weird. I'm sorry. I bet you're regretting asking that question now, Christine. One thing I did regret about Melbourne was I was hoping to have a bit of a meet-up with everybody, but when I got there and realised what was going to be happening this weekend that was different to previous weekends, I just realised I had no time. Like, in previous previous VidCons, most of the nights I've had nothing on. So, like, I would get there on a Thursday, there'd be nothing on Thursday night, I'd have something on Friday, then nothing on Saturday, maybe dinner on Sunday. So I'd have a couple of nights free. Whereas this time round, it was just like every night there was something, and I was just like, oh, a bit overwhelmed. Spanachic's wondering, I wonder if it's a friends of friends perk scenario, or whether it was the pass level you got. So that's the thing, I don't know. I really don't know. I know I definitely got some, like, it was to my advantage, some of the friends that I was talking to, and I happened to be in the right places with the right people. So I know there was definitely some of that going on, which I also know probably won't be happening. I'm like, won't be happening again. No, nothing bad happened. I just don't want to make assumptions. But I don't think that level of friend advantage, is there a word for that, will happen again. But I also did have a different pass, which meant I was in more rooms doing different things. So I don't know which is which, you know. I'm very confused. That's so good that it was awesome. I do not regret about asking about your trip. Thanks, Christine. Because my brain hasn't finished sort of processing the whole thing yet. There was some seriously amazing stuff that happened this week, and I'm still trying to adjust to the fact that it happened. So, yeah, a bit of both. It may be a bit of both. You're right, Sally. It could totally be a bit of both. But yeah, I don't know. And I had an amazing time. I met phenomenal people, and yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah. That's it. I got nothing. I got no words. The words left. They up and went, gone. Did you wear the squared top you made? I didn't finish it. So I didn't wear it, and I regretted not having it, like, multiple times. But I didn't get one of the sleeves done in time, and I took it with me to try and finish it while I was there, thinking I'd have time one night and maybe get to wear it. But no, I didn't get it finished, and I didn't get it worn. And so I had this massive project taking up precious real estate in my suitcase. So, yeah. But I'm going to plan a nice top for next, like, I'm going to actually start working on one. So I've got one in my cupboard. I'm going to get the Get Squared one finished. And then I'm also going to have something a bit thinner and a bit lighter as well. Probably like a lacy cover top. I saw a lady on a plane wearing something commercially made, and I thought that would be perfect. And so, yeah, definitely like some sort of lacy cover top would definitely be nice to have as well. Because the thing was, right, it's Melbourne, right? It was a bit colder than up here. Certainly less humid, I can tell you that straight away. But because I was either in my air-conditioned hotel or in the air-conditioned convention center, I didn't wear a jumper, like, the whole time. Like, I had my little 3/4 sleeve t-shirt cover top, t-shirt fabric cover top. I had one long sleeve t-shirt with me and just wore it home. Because I was in warmth so much, there was no point in in like wearing jackets and jumpers, because you're just gonna have to take it off and carry it. And you guys know how lazy I am. I don't take, I'm like, not annoying. So, oh, hang on, I'm at that last stitch and it's being a butt. Bam, done. I think we've got another row. Yes, we have another row. Hang on, I've just got to start the next row, you guys. So let my brain, so I've got to purl, then scoop, purl. All right, okay, I'm good now. Sometimes we run out of time. We definitely run out of time for things, for sure. So yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Just having a look here. We've got 28 in the chat, you guys. Thanks so much for all of you joining in to listen to me blather on. Spanachek says you had 2 hours on the flight down. You could have finished a sleeve in that time. Lol. No, I don't craft on planes normally. I'd take stuff to do, and a small project, but that was a massive project. That was my luggage. That was not in my carry-on. But then I still didn't do any of it. I'm a big girl, right? And so in airplane seats, the last thing I want to be doing is moving my arms. I tend to sit with my arms crossed, my legs as tight together as I can, leaning into the aisle. That's how I fly. So that was the chair, by the way, totally the chair. Leanne says, excuse lurking, spring cleaning happening in my house. Do you want to come and spring clean my place? K-Bridge says, it's the first time I've been able to catch you live. So glad I did. I'm so glad you made it too, Kay. I hope it's been fun. A bit different setup. We don't have our hand shots today. Oh, hello, voice. Welcome to the not working. Sorry. So I got to my hotel and there was already, because I was sharing my room, there was already people in my room. Like one person who was staying there, plus he checked, but also some guests. And so it was like, oh, hello, people. Let's socialize instantly. So not much crocheting got done in the room either. There was one afternoon where I sort of went back and had a little sit-down break because I just needed some space. Like just, some of you are new and don't, I'm what's called a social introvert, so I can be sociable, but it's very draining. And not that I find it bad, but I just find that I find it very difficult. And so to keep upbeat, like when I'm in a room full of people, and so I sort of tend to have to sort of recharge every now and again. So I sort of go back to my hotel room and be like, and like it only takes 10 minutes or something like that. But then where's my thermos? It's still in my luggage. I took it with me to Melbourne, never used it, but I took it with me. So I forgot to get it out. So it's still sitting there. Purling. So today is a big day of getting back on the horse, checking the website, doing all the work, packing all the orders, getting some stuff out in the post. Alison is in the chat. I've got to get onto her. I've got all of her stuff now, I think. Just double check that. That's why I need to get onto her. Sally's the same. Yeah, it's a bit tricky, isn't it, Sally? Because you want to be doing the stuff. You want to be in the room. You want to be socializing. But at the same time, you have to be aware of the fact that you have limits. So, quick question. I'm loving the idea of the solid yarn with a mini for... Oh, okay. So you're talking about these guys. These little sets. I'm loving the idea of the solid yarn with a mini for heels and toes, but can't find them on your website. So like the speckle main and then the solid mini. These aren't actually on the website at the moment. So these, I've got a whole pile of stuff I have to take photos of. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I've got a whole pile of stuff I have to take photos of. This is one of them. So I've got the Pegasus sock kits. These are 35, so that's in the Slimer pack. I've got 2 Slimer packs and a Joss pack. Hang on. Come here. Oh, just throw it on the ground. And that's the Joss pack there. If you want these, just send me a private message. So the 35 each. You get a 100-gram skein of the speckle, and then a 25-gram skein of the solid, and they're $35 a pack. So there's just a couple there. So just PM me if you want them. Are there any speckle minis? There's a couple of this Essence of Joss in a speckle mini, I think. There's not much. We've got to do some dyeing. Of our speckles. We've been slowly catching up. I just threw things on the ground. That's not the camera. Because one of my cameras used to be in my laptop, and this new laptop doesn't have one. So, and I'm like looking at it to read. Yeah, not the camera. So yeah, so if you want them at the moment, just send me a PM. We'll get it sorted. I love blue or purple. If there's colors on the website that you really like, let me know. I definitely have some skeins of Essence of Violetish. I'm looking at one. I'm gonna go and get it. Hang on. Snowy's losing her mind. Fall over, control falling down. Okay. Microphone on. Oops, backwards again, Miss Jane. Look, that'll do. So this is the Essence of Violetish, which is purples and blues and stuff like that. It's not on the website at the moment. I think there's a spot for it, but no photo, because again, I've got to take photos. So, and I've got to check. I've got a whole pile of yarn inside that Andrea and I dyed the other day. I've got to skein it up and twist it and work out some numbers. I'm not sure if there's any Violetish in that. I don't think there is. But this is a beautiful color. I'm actually using some Essence of Violetish for my Bantam shawl that I'm working on. So if you check my Instagram feed, you can see it's being crocheted up in there. With a pack of minis, but still catching up on all the dyeing. I've just had another shipment of the Pegasus yarn arrive. We ran out of yarn again. Whoops. Well, we nearly ran out. We still got some, but we were like, okay, what do we really need right now? We'll just hold some of this yarn just in case. So we've got some minis coming. Yeah, lots of stuff needs twisting. So, oh, Abby, that was loud. Oh, so somehow a chicken got in the house and would not get out from behind the television. And so Abby's just come in and scared the absolute life out of me by opening this window. And she's sitting here holding a chicken. So, didn't mean to hijack the thread. You did not hijack nothing. This is how we roll, and it's been Girl Creations. It's like we are totally like shiny thing and jump to the next thing. That's how we do it. That's just a standard Fiberific live chat. So yeah, so this is bye abs. This is, don't shut it right up because of the cord. Good girl. School holidays here, you guys. My daughter's home. So yeah, so this is the Essence of Violetish. My brain just quit. It just went, yeah, nah, I'm not telling you the answer to that. Is koala a permanent colour? I couldn't find it on Pegasus Art Yarn, just wondering. It is, but we're currently out of stock, so it'll be back. Koala is like a really nice soft mid-grey that we've got, but it will be a permanent colour. It's definitely repeatable, so it will be coming back as well. So just before Bendigo, which I know is very hard to believe for me, but it was 3 months ago now, like two and a half, I don't know. Turns out a lot longer than it is compared to how long it's taken me to get back on top of everything after it. And I'm still restocking after Bendigo. I'm still waiting on Chiaogu. I'm still adding more Chiaogu orders. It's not so much waiting on Chiaogu. I'm waiting on me to put more Chiaogu orders in. End of July. Was there some koala in a tree left from the dye stream? Yes, there was definitely koala in a tree left on the dye stream. There's actually, I don't have any in here, they're all inside. There's some of all of the yarns from that dye stream left over. So, yeah, it's looking good. There's lots of colours to play with and look at. I walk past it and because they're all hanging on the rack, and I'm like, you guys are all pretty. So I probably should scan them and take proper photos. There's rough photos up on the website to see them, but there's no proper photos. Black Pearl Knit says, yay, I love the sherbet orange and the grey combo. I might have to have a look, because I might have something that's not up on the website either. Do you guys remember the MCN that we used for some Mystery Lace Club? I had a pile of that left, so I've actually dyed a lot of the standard colours on the MCN base, and they're not on the website, which, you know, makes it really easy to sell them. And so I need to get those up on the website. I realised for the birthday yarn sale that I was like, let's have a birthday yarn sale. I've got so much yarn. And then it wasn't until I got a message from somebody about something I can't remember, and I realised a lot of my yarn is not on the website. So what I'm going to do is over the next coming weeks is go through and do some massive photo shoots, get all the yarn photographed, and then we'll have another yarn sale probably. Let me think. Probably end of October. But, you know, same deal. I normally only take about 10% off, so it's not huge, but it's something. But I'll try and get photos of all the yarn and get it all on the website this time, which I should have done before, but I didn't. I'll get there. MCN is merino, cashmere, nylon. That is correct. Yes. Absolute. And I love it. It's so soft. Like, my standard Pegasus is lovely. Don't get me wrong. It's a really nice merino nylon. But MCN is just that next step, like that next level softness. So I know I've definitely got some in sherbet orange, but I'm not sure from there. Spanish Chick says I can come photograph stuff once the kids go back to school. I might even take you up on that, because photographing stuff is one of the things that takes a lot of time. I like editing the photos. I don't mind uploading the photos, but actually going through and making sure I've got everything, that's the tricky part. Every now and again I'll be like, okay, I think I got it all, and then you sort of go through it and you realize, oh, I missed 20 skeins, and I've got to set it all up again and do it all again. It's squishy. It's totally squishy. It's totally squishy. I'm just going to stretch my leg out there. Something that I've walked around too much at VidCon, as usual. One of the things was, when you do the meet and greets, you're in this really long line on concrete, and you've just got to stand there for hours, and my knee did not like it. I was like, hi, how you going? Are we done yet? Is this it? And so that was fun. So what I'm going to try and do today at some stage, I've been having problems with my Instagram stories. Is anybody else on Android having problems with Instagram stories crashing every time? Like, it's totally force closes the app, because that's what I'm having happen at the moment. So I can post into my feed, but not into my stories. And I think that's part of the problem that I've been having, is because I don't want to post into my Fiberific Instagram feed all the stuff from VidCon, but I would happily have posted it into Insta Stories if I could get Insta Stories to work again. It worked for a couple of days and then stopped. So I don't know what the deal is there. But we'll see. We'll try and get it all going and running and all that sort of stuff. Oops, what have I done there? I did the wrong thing. That's supposed to be just a slip stitch, Chantal. Follow the pattern. Don't just make it up as you go, especially if you want it to actually be brioche at the end. Okay, I'm going to pop this down, have a quick squeeze, make sure I haven't screwed it. Nope, it's all good. Guys, it is 11:30, believe it or not. I have prattled. Spanish Chick, no, I can't post. Oh, I could post it into my Chantel.Hills feed, but that stories isn't working either. And I've uninstalled and reinstalled, and I've cleared the cache and all that normal stuff. Anyway, you guys, it's 11:30. It is time. We are done. It is time for you to go and hit the website for anything that you wanted to purchase. If you want to DM me, if you wanted something that we talked about that's not actually on the website, get onto me either through Facebook or through Instagram for sure. And I'm going to run off and go and do some work. So I hope you will have a fantastic day and have a fantastic week. And we're going to live stream again next week, hopefully with 2 cameras. I'm really hoping I find my missing camera. I'm a bit sad. Spanish Chick is talking about Patreon. So Patreon, for those of you that are members on Patreon or are wondering what Patreon even is, it is this fantastic platform. If you want to make it so that I can afford my equipment, that I've got lighting, if I've got webcams, and all these things that we use to make these live streams, you can donate from as little as $1 per month to the Fiberific Patreon. And I will say, please skip the ads. Don't watch the ads, because you've already made it amazing. Inside somewhere after die stream. It is inside. Yeah, it is. I put it somewhere safe and it got moved while I was away. That's the problem with the camera. I put it somewhere very safe that was not out in the shack, because I don't like to leave my cameras out here in the heat. And so it was in the house and it was somewhere safe, and then I've come back and it's been moved. So yeah, so that's where the camera is. Anyway, so I'm gonna go. I'll see you all next week. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Check out Patreon, see if there's anything you love there, and say hi. I'll be doing all the fun things. I'll be Instagramming and Facebooking and all that sort of stuff. So I'll catch you all later. Bye. If I can find the button.